Hello, everyone. Today I'm trying to show you guys how to determine the numbers of significant figures and round values and convert regular number to scientific notation or convert back to a regular number. So let's get started. First, let's determine the significant figures in numbers as below. 115.12 milliliter. How many number of significant figures? If you don't understand the number of significant figures, we can follow the example here so you can understand. So basically is you count numbers. So you count numbers. If the number had no zero, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You write 5. So set the second number 0.0031 gram. How many numbers of significant figures? Let's see. We don't count the zero in the front of the numbers. We don't count the zeros ahead of the numbers. So you start from 3, 1. How many numbers? 2. Let's see this example. 11.00. How many significant figures in numbers? We don't count the zero ahead numbers. How about the zero after the numbers? So in this case, we count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 numbers. So the zero after the dot, we count them. So it's 4. That means when you measure something, they want you keep 4 significant figures. So you only measure 11 meters, as there is no actual decimal numbers. So you put a 0 there. You tell them that is exact exact number. So let's show other example. 1100. How many significant figures? In this case, this is an integer. For integer numbers, you only count the first 2 numbers. The 0 number we don't count. And here they don't have the dot. You see, if you don't see the dot, you don't count the 0. You just count the first 2 numbers. So in this case, the number of significant figures in D is only 2 numbers. We call 1, 1. 4 lines. How many numbers we see not how many number. We see how many significant figure numbers or how many significant figure numbers. So only one number. Or we can see exact. Let's see this one. Guess how many significant numbers? This is a scientific notation. So the cross, after the cross, we don't count. We count here. How many? If you see a dot here, you count all numbers. So we see 3. Now you look back. If you see dot, you count all numbers. Then now you see the dot, but you only count 2 numbers because if you see the dot, if the number from 0 you don't count. You only count until you see a numbers. One 1.00300 times 10 to the 8 power, so meter. So how many? Let's count. If you see the dot, you count all numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1100 dot millimeter. How many significant numbers? So we see we saw the dot here. That means exact. So we need to count 1, 2, 3, 4 is 4. Here 1 millimeter. How many? 4. We don't see the dot. We only count the integers. We only count the numbers. So we have 4 numbers. But this one, they have 0. We don't count 0 if we don't see the dot. So let's do the second one. Round the values to 2 significant figures. So round to 2. If you see this number, you only need to choose 2. So we emit all the number below, so we put 1.1. If you see the third number is below 5, you don't need to round up. You put 1.1. 2.37456. So you round up. The third one is bigger than 5. So you add 1 to the second digit. So you call 2.4. You see this one? If you need 2, we don't count the 0. So 1, 2. The third one is bigger than 5. So we add 1. So 0.044. So 2 significant figures. And 4.63. 3 is under 5. So we call 4.6 times 10 to the 8 power. So you see this one is 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. When you see a number equal or bigger than 5, you add 1 to the number ahead of the 5. So we add 1 here. So we round up. You can write 15. This one, 11000. We only need 2 significant numbers, so 11. 11 times 10 to the 1 is 2, 3, 4. we put 4 power 4. So we see the third one. Convert the following values into scientific notation. So let's see. We normally convert if the teacher tell you how many significant figures they need to keep, you have to keep. But in this case, they didn't tell you how many significant figures you need to do. So you can keep 2, you can keep 3, you can keep 1. It depends on you. So I can put here 3.25 times 10 to the, you can count how many zero, how many digital if you move to here. So now we put a dot here, so you can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 3.25 times 10 to the 5th power. Let's see this one. We move the dot to here, so we put 3.25 times 10 to the, because I have a dot. When you have a dot, you move here, the number become bigger. But you have to make the number equal to this number. Then that means you have to times negative power. How much negative power? So you jump the dot from here to 1 time. If 1 time, you put a negative 1. Let's see this one, 0.00003. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you jump 5 times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You jump 5 times. That means you have to time negative 5. 15.1678. Actually, you can write this exactly here, or you can write move 1 forward. You can see 1.5167 times 10 to the how many power? So you move 1 time. So this number becomes smaller, but this bigger. How much bigger? You jump 1 time. So you put 1, the power you put 1 positive. If you see this number smaller than this, then this should be positive. If you see this number bigger than this, then you put a negative power. Make sense? Part 4. Convert the following scientific notation back to the regular number. Okay, if here 3.11 times 10 to the negative 2, when you see negative 2, you copy down the number 3y1. So negative 2, that means you, the dot from here, 1, 2. Then you add a 0 between. So 3.15 times 10 to the negative 3, you put 3y5. So the dot from here, you jump 1, 2, 3. Now you found where the dot, then you add 0 every time you move. y5 times 10 to the 6th power, you copy down y5, so you add 6 zeros. This is the comma. In America, we like to put a comma every 3 zeros, so it's easy to identify. This is a comma, not a dot, not a period, okay? 7.1 to the 10 to the 4th power, you put 7.1 here. How many you jump? 4 times, because this 4th power is positive. If positive, we need to move, add 0 behind the number 1, 2, 3, 4. You got it? If the number is negative, becomes smaller, we need to put a dot ahead of the number. If it's positive, we need to add 0 behind the number. This is a comma. Thanks for watching.